Hey world, and welcome to our first video for our informational series, You Know Whole Well. Today's video is You Know Whole Well is COVID out here. So what we're going to be talking about today is what you need, what you should have, and what's beneficial for you during this COVID season. Now, I think we all know that right now COVID is the worst that it has been to date. So, number one, how do germs spread? So, imagine you have barbecue sauce on your hands. You just got through grilling in the backyard. Hands covered in barbecue sauce. You touch the door to get back inside. You come in, you close the door back. You go into the kitchen. Maybe you set down utensils. You touch the counter. Maybe you open the refrigerator. Maybe you open the freezer. Maybe you turn on the sink. All of that is called cross-contamination, because what's going to happen is that you're going to have barbecue sauce tracked all over your house. So one of the things that they've been really enforcing or speaking on is the use of hand sanitizer. So again, imagine you have all that barbecue sauce on your hands and you decide that you're not going to wash your hands. They're clean enough. You're just going to hand sanitize them. This is what we call mud hands. That means your hands are dirty and disgusting. Even though you just sanitize them, you still have barbecue sauce all over your hands. So that's why it's important to wash your hands. Wash your hands. I'm going to say it again. Wash your hands. Hand sanitizer is great, but wash your hands. The next is the mask. So 3-layer masks are the best. The gaiters, which is like kind of like a scarf that's circular, and you kind of just put it over, it goes over your head and it goes around your neck and over your mouth. That's not sufficient. Most gaiters are only 1 layer, and they're made of fabric that's not conducive to blocking any kind of disease, germ or virus or anything like that from passing through. So you might be somewhat protecting someone else from maybe you coughing, but that's not 100% at all. I've seen some people they'll just pull up their t-shirts and put it over their face because they don't have a mask. Again, that is unacceptable. You're not blocking anything. The germs, the viruses can come right through that, and it's not airtight. I've seen a lot of people with the surgical mask, the paper, like bluish color surgical masks. Those are great for if you're coughing or talking and you don't want your mouth particles to go spewing into somebody else's space. But as far as keeping someone else's germs away from you is not very effective. The most effective you can possibly do is use a 3-layer mask. And gloves. I cannot stress the importance of gloves. They haven't really been talking about this in mainstream news because I have a background in food service and sanitation. We wear gloves. That's just what we do. I personally prefer the disposable vinyl gloves because they're durable, they're effective. The latex gloves they're usually blue, sometimes black or gray. Usually the black and gray ones are called nitrile. These are very, very thin and they break easily. So you don't want to be in a situation where you have on your latex glove and it breaks and you have a false sense of safety and security when you potentially could have just contaminated yourself. Um, you could also use cotton or wool gloves. Since it's getting so cold outside now, that might be a good idea. Now, it's not going to be as effective as the vinyl gloves, but they do give you a certain layer of protection. So it's kind of like if you're washing dishes in your house. If you're using a paper towel to wipe off your counter versus using a sponge. When you use a paper towel, you can just wipe everything down, use whatever kind of cleanser that you want, and then throw it away. If you use a sponge, um, it's going to hold on to all those bacteria, all the viruses, all of that stuff. So unless you're sanitizing your gloves, your cotton or wool gloves, it's going to be more detrimental than it's going to be effective. But if you do use them, sanitize them just like you would a sponge. Let's see. So I also wanted to talk about vitamin D3. So a lot of doctors now are prescribing vitamin D3 supplements for people who have acquired COVID-19. Vitamin D3 is what you get from the sun. And the fact, or you can get it from supplements. This is a vitamin that is not easily absorbed by people of color because of the amount of melanin that you have in your skin. So a lot of people of color are vitamin D deficient. So they get put on supplements. They have to take it in pill form. Now, the supplements that you take is vitamin D2, which is very good for aiding in calcium absorption. It goes to the kidneys. But the vitamin D3 is what is created naturally in your body by getting exposure to sunlight and certain foods. That creates more of what aids the immune system to help fight off germs, bacteria, viruses, diseases, stuff like that. So it's definitely more beneficial to get it naturally from the sun or from your food. But if you're still not getting enough, a supplement is a good option. So with it being COVID, a lot of people have been inside and we haven't been able to get as much sun as we'd like. Whenever you can get the opportunity, go for a walk, go on your back porch, go in the front, just soak in a couple of rays. Don't stay out and get sunburned or anything like that, but just make sure you're taking a little bit of time to get a little bit of sun on your skin. Also, as far as your diet, you get vitamin D3 from fatty fish. So, fish oils, egg yolks, red meats. What's really, really, really good, the best in my opinion, for getting vitamin D3 is wild caught salmon. So you do get some benefit from farmed salmon, but you get your best benefit from wild caught salmon. What's the difference? Okay. Salmon is one of those creatures in the environment where if the ecosystem isn't where it needs to be as far as pollution and things like that, the salmon will die out. Kind of how when people used to work in mines and they would use canaries, and if the canary died, then they knew it was like a gas leak or something like that. It's kind of the same way. The salmon lets people know if there is something going on in the ecosystem because they'll start dying off. Salmon are very clean fish. They're not like bottom feeders like catfish or anything like that. So they're very sensitive to pollutants in the environment. and they're very high in vitamin D3 as well as antioxidants and many other things. So if during this time of COVID, we know a lot of people have been out of work. You might not be able to afford salmon, especially fresh salmon, which is the best. You can buy canned salmon. If you still can't get that, you can also get vitamin D3 from fortified orange juice or fortified milk or oatmeal, cremini mushrooms. Those are all things that you can eat that are very high in vitamin D3. So that you won't have to use supplements if your vitamin D3 is very low. Also, keep in mind that high fructose corn syrup can deactivate vitamin D3. What's high fructose corn syrup? That's the really sugary, sweet, artificial sweetener that you find in most things like juices and candy and stuff like that. So definitely try to stay away from high fructose corn syrup. And also don't overdo the supplements. Although the supplements are good, you don't want to take too many because that can be detrimental also. So that's why it's best, instead of going with the supplements, to try to get it naturally. But if you can't do that, then please reach out to your doctor and find out what's the appropriate amount of supplements that you should have. I guess that's it. Let me know how you feel about this information in the comments. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you can get updates on when we put out new videos. Thank you so much. I'll see y'all again soon. Bye.